Her name was Adaeze, a 17-year-old girl from a small town called Obeagu. She was bright, quiet, and full of dreams. Her father was a mechanic who barely made enough to keep the lights on, and her mother sold tomatoes at the roadside market. Adaeze believed that education was her only ticket to a better life. And so, every morning, she woke up before the sun, swept the compound, helped her mother, and still arrived at school before the first bell. Then came Mr. Daniel, the new English teacher. He was young, handsome, and spoke in that gentle, educated tone that made students listen. He wore clean shirts, carried himself with confidence, and had a smile that could calm even the noisiest class. From the first day, everyone loved him, especially the girls. But Adaeze admired him differently. To her, he was the man who saw something in her that nobody else did.
Adaeze, you're one of the smartest students I've ever taught. You remind me of myself.
Those words planted something deep in her. Admiration mixed with affection. At first, the lessons were innocent. He corrected her essays, explained new words, and encouraged her to dream bigger. But slowly the tone changed.
Do you have a boyfriend? You have a very bright smile, Adaeze.
It felt strange, but she trusted him. He was her teacher, her mentor. Days turned into weeks, and what started as mentorship became secret meetings. He would ask her to stay after school for extra lessons. They would sit close, laugh, and talk about life beyond school walls. Soon Mr. Daniel became her confidant, and one evening, during one of those lessons, boundaries were crossed. It happened quietly, wrapped in whispers and confusion, the kind of moment that changes everything forever. Adaeze didn't tell anyone. She couldn't. Who would believe her? She was just a student. He was a respected teacher. And besides, in her heart, she believed it was love. But love has consequences. 2 months later, Adaeze began to feel sick. She was always tired. She couldn't eat. Her school uniform started to feel tight around her waist.
Adaeze, what is wrong with you?
It was malaria.
But when her mother took her to the clinic, the truth came out. She was pregnant.
Who did this to you?
Mr. Daniel.
The news spread through the town like wildfire. People whispered in the market, in church, in classrooms. The respected English teacher had impregnated his student. The school suspended him immediately, and soon after, he vanished, leaving Adaeze to face the shame alone. Her father stopped speaking for days. Her mother could barely look at her. She dropped out of school. Her dreams of becoming a lawyer disappeared in one painful moment. 9 months later, she gave birth to a baby boy. She named him Chibuikem, God is my strength. Because strength was all she had left. Life was hard. Friends avoided her, neighbors mocked her, but Adaeze refused to give up. She began selling groundnuts and water at the roadside to feed her child.
One day I'll rise again.
And she did. With the help of a women's foundation in town, Adaeze learned tailoring. She worked hard, saved money, and after a few years, opened her own small shop. She even began to volunteer at the local school. Not as a student this time, but as a mentor to young girls.
Whenever she saw a student staying too long with a teacher, she would gently call her aside and say, "My dear, be careful. Your dreams are precious. Guard them."
Mr. Daniel's name was never heard again. Some said he left for another city. Others said he lost everything. But Adaeze learned something far greater than grammar or composition. She learned that trust is sacred, and that sometimes people we respect can misuse it. She learned that mistakes don't have to define you. That even when the world calls you names, God still calls you daughter. And that every fall can become a rise if you choose to stand again. So to every young girl listening to this story, remember Adaeze. Remember that no grade, no praise, no affection is worth your future. And to every teacher, your influence is powerful. Use it to lift, not to destroy. Because a single wrong choice can shatter a life, but a single right choice can save one. Respect, boundaries, and wisdom are the pillars of growth. No matter how dark your past, you can always rewrite your story.